Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a minute since I've been here. William, what's up?
What's happening? I ain't seen you in a good minute. Tell me my students did all right on their test. Please
They
tell
did
me they
really
did.
well. They did really, really,
I'm
really
so happy
well.
to hear that.
Yeah. Jason, what's going on?
What's up? It's good seeing you again. Me and William been here all week. Where you been?
That's the thing. Like my students just tested yesterday, so I'm free. I'm free. Roy, what's going on?
Not much. Doing good. Just it's the end of a long and stressful work week. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay.
This is
all
my
right. Well, good.
this is my
Let's imbibe together on all that is Star Trek. All right, so let's do this. Let's play the intro, and then after the intro, a recap. All right, so let's go. I'm trying to find the videos. Here we go.
What's up, Trekkies? It's your boy Will Walford here with Trekker's Delight, a Star Trek-inspired podcast. Before we get started, we're going to give away $100, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel where we will announce the lucky winner every single week. Now, welcome to Trekker's Delight.
This is a recap of Strange New Worlds episode number 1. This episode begins with a first contact situation that we later learn is headed by number 1, Una. Pike is struggling with the knowledge of his death 10 years in the future. It makes him very reluctant to get back to the Enterprise. Admiral Bob April meets Pike in Bear Creek, Montana to enlist him to find his first officer. We hear the Space, the Final Frontier introduction that we haven't heard in decades. Spock is on Vulcan and flirting with his intended bride, T'Pring. We can clearly see she ain't about that Starfleet life. They are making Spock a sex symbol, in my opinion. Just before they consummated, Pike informs Spock of the issue, and the team is assembled. We also learn Lieutenant Kirk, James's father, has been asked to join the Enterprise. Spock has a passing memory of his sister, and Pike barely regards this as noteworthy before going on about new cadets. Cadet Uhura is announced as a prodigy. We are told a signature of a functioning warp engine was discovered on Kyle 279. The USS Archer was dispatched to make contact, but contact has been lost. Spock was noting a change in Pike and rationalizes Pike saw the future. Pike confides that not only did he see the future, but he also saw his death. We learn it is almost a decade away. Spock counsels him to use the knowledge of his death as insight. They arrive at Kylie 279 to find the Archer is without her crew. Knowing Una probably would have gone to the surface, they decide to go to the warp signature. After Dr. Mbinga and Nurse Chapel make changes to their genetic codes. Lieutenant Noonien Singh convinces Pike to raise shields over Spock's objections. Spock reads scans and learns there were no warp engines there, but there was or is a warp bomb. After beaming down, they realize the society is in the middle of a civil war, while on the planet, Lieutenant Noonien Singh gets Spock to help her knock out 2 of the security guards and beam them up where more genetic tests are run, just in the nick of time to help Spock. One escapes from sickbay, but Uhura dazzles him with her knowledge of their culture until Nurse Chapel arrives and knocks him unconscious. The away team finds Una and the other officers. Una shares that the inhabitants of Kylie 279 saw Discovery, the Kelpians, and the Klingons, and with their own instruments attempted to recreate what they saw. In a debate over General Order 1, Una and Pike decide to get involved and help the inhabitants not make a grave mistake. In a Hail Mary, Pike orders the Enterprise into the atmosphere, which encourages the factions to talk. Pike then beams down during their talks and shows them the truth of Earth's present and past, its second Civil War, the Eugenics Wars, and World War III. He was telling them a cautionary tale. Oh, William, why? Why?
This is not NBC.
Don't you miss me?
Wait, is it NBC? It is NBC.
Hi, my name is.
CBS.
Hello,
It's CBS, not NBC.
my name is Mr. Cockatoo.
I mean, yes, Spock was a sex symbol, and I'm finally here for it because I'm getting tired of all these women being sex symbols. Let a man do it for once. We deserve to be sex symbols too. Don't say anything, Jason. But,
That's actually
like something was bubbling up.
I knew something was coming.
No. Wait. No, Roy has the finger. Roy, what's going on? What's on your mind?
So William, what you just said is almost exactly a direct quote from Gene Roddenberry. Let the men be sex symbols for a change.
He's calling you a sex.
He actually said,
and this is why he gave them skirts.
No, Gene Roddenberry said the same thing. Gene Roddenberry said the same thing.
But I'm just saying
He said
skirts.
I just want to say, me knowing that now, I'm gonna take the skirt uniform from Encounter at Farpoint and wear it at my first LGBT parade.
If they
I don't
still
care.
sell them.
I mean,
Would they cancel that after season 1?
I don't care what anyone
says.
says. That dude had nice legs. I don't care what anyone says.
wait,
Like,
They should have had Scotty in a kilt. That had worked. Anyway, let's start off. What are we gonna do? We're gonna start from the beginning and work our way through.
Look, like normally yes. Normally,
All
yes. That's
beginning.
That's what I normally do. But I mean, it's a new episode, not a new episode, but it's a new series, right?
whole new thing.
All right, yeah.
And so I see us going round and round and round and round and round.
Oh yeah,
So-
act up like we did last night
So
Oh.
let's
on the show.
What? I didn't act up on the show.
Shut up, Jermaine. Okay, let's here we go. Let's do this. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I do like that. Okay, let's start off. It's the new series, right? Basically, to me, this looks like they are rehashing old Trek, TOS. We went after TOS and TNG. Everybody was trying to get away from that episodic form of television of putting this whole long arc, and we really got into that long arc over the whole series with Discovery and with Picard, and now they're just getting rid of that and saying, okay, let's go back step by step and do episode by episode, which I kind of really like because it has nothing for me to look forward to, like to guess at. Like I don't have to guess at what anything is, what's going to happen next week. It's a completely refreshing. I have no idea. I have no way to think about it. We've got basically a C story, D story about Pike and his his fears over what he saw about his sort of death. It's not really a death. It was death is
He views it as
how he
death.
knows himself.
Close
He
enough.
views it as death. But Yeah, man. So I'm all for that new fresh idea and the new fresh old idea and doing it pretty much as TOS. It's a TOS show in modern times.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it felt like.
At the beginning, so say they have that ship at the beginning when they have the that ship was it Kylie 279.
Yeah.
It is a one nacelled starship that is the USS Archer. I have my issues with one nacelle starships. I didn't think starships could run with one nacelle, but somebody could check that science. I think that
Actually,
yeah. Roy, you might know it. It should be two nacelles, and they have to have line of sight, right?
no, actually, in the old the Enterprise blueprints, they showed pictures of other ships that had single nacelles.
Okay.
I'll have to pull it up, but they had them.
Not only did they have the Archer, but they had the Stamets when they had the little
The Stamets.
the
The
shuttle
little
when
shuttlecraft, yeah.
shuttlecraft Stamets, which means that they have deemed him because you can't have a shuttlecraft named after you unless you're dead. They have deemed them long gone and dead. Goodbye, Discovery.
Not just that, but
Right.
he had to have contributed something that was amazing, right? In
Mhm.
addition to just being dead. And so what they're saying there is that Stamets is the man, and we need to recognize the
Yeah.
fact that he's the man.
But they can't say what he
Even-
did though. Everything is classified. How can you name something?
Right.
Doesn't matter.
It's
I mean, it's a shuttlecraft. It's not a ship. It's a shuttlecraft.
Well, somebody's gonna look it up. Roy, will
William,
look
it
it up.
looked like you had something to say. Oh,
I think Michael had something bigger to say.
speaking of sex symbols, damn, look at that man. My girlfriend hates seafood, but mercy if she doesn't tell me that she devour all that pike. Who the hell is Michael?
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you because he's here and he's been watching us for a while.
I saw that.
He had a plethora. He literally
I
had
saw that too.
all the questions. Now I never got to it, and I guess those questions answer themselves. He was on last night.
I saw that.
Right. So he's pretty much here. I don't know who brought him here, how he got. Oh, wow. Those are the schematics. That's so cool. Who has the schematics
So
of
this-
Archer?
So this was this is from the Starfleet Technical Manual. Okay, and that was a Class 1 transport, Ptolemy class starship. So it's
Okay.
not, it's not really big like the Enterprise is. It's just a transport or a tug.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
It looks like.
if it's a tug, is it going warp? A tug?
They have different ships in here. This will need more research for sure.
Oh, hey Marco, what's up, bud?
All right. Hey, so who was that sweet young lady that Pike is shacked up with up in Montana?
Some other captain.
Mhm.
Oh, the destroyer. That's so cool.
It's nobody important.
It's a Class 1 destroyer.
And why do all
There
these
you go.
captains always live in the country?
I mean, I could answer that,
Nobody
but we're kind of live right now.
Okay.
He just said, okay.
Oh wow! So Michael is giving us some information. He's saying that Stamets is actually named after a real Paul Stamets, who is a real mycology mushroom expert. It is he
Yeah, man.
that the shuttle is named after. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually remember reading that in the Star Trek wiki, the fandom.
No, because you're gonna want us to talk about it just so that you could turn it back on us. I've seen what you do. Not doing it.
No, we love Marie because we cannot insult the queen. We cannot. I purposely kept her as queen or your highness at the end credits of every show just so we can make it clear. Like the Borg queen ain't got nothing on Marie. No, I'm not walking into that trap. To hell with that. Sorry. Return to sender.
So look, this is something I guess I wanted to save until the end, but we're going all over the place. So this is what I wanted to say. So I saw this particular episode yesterday, and I was just like, oh, it's a forgettable episode. To me, it really was. And then I watched it again today for this, and I was like, oh, like I noticed it the first time, but I didn't put a whole lot of energy into it until I saw it the second time. And what I saw was I saw a lot of personality from Pike. So Pike is both a, forgive the pun, well, it's not what I mean. He's a straight man, meaning he's going to be serious, but he's also very fun and light. And I liked that for his character. If you recall, in Next Generation, Picard was always the straight man, and I guess what was supposed to be, Riker was supposed to be like that light character, kind of like balancing each other out. But you have both all in Pike, and I found that to be it. I think it's going to be to his benefit as a captain in this particular show.
Definitely. You like my grandmama always used to say, everybody hates Chris, but everybody loves Pike. So I think that everybody loves Pike. He's very charismatic, handsome man. And just like you said, Jermaine, like he has both that sort of duality of character where he is that strong character. He's strong. We also see him be vulnerable, and we see him be charismatic, and we see him be funny, and we see him be lots of things. So, but he does them all very well.
Vulnerable too, especially that conversation that he had with Spock. He didn't miss a beat. Like Spock was just like, "Hey, you've seen the future," and he was just like, "Yeah, my future, and I'm going to die." Like it just rolled off his tongue, and it was amazing to watch.
Because it's not going to destroy the timeline. A and B. Spock was kind of there, but not there. He was part of that particular mission. Mm-hmm. The overall mission with Discovery, mm-hmm. Like he was there, so he could talk to Spock about it. Whereas with everyone else, you can't because it would defeat the purpose of the spore technology ever existing throughout the 24th century.
Well, yeah. Like I get your point. I guess what I was saying was he could have kept that. He could have kept that bit of knowledge. The fact that he could have, yeah. But he didn't. He shared it with Spock. And
I think he feels like he has to have somebody to know that side of him to keep him in check in certain situations. And he doesn't. He doesn't. Una wasn't on the ship at the time. He doesn't know this other number one. We'll talk about her. But I think confiding in Spock is
so. I need to know: is Una, aka number one, aka the original, is the best friend to Pike? Because every captain has a best friend or a close friend on the ship. Usually it's a Vulcan, but we've made exceptions in other shows. Like,
well, we don't see that relationship yet. They are close. I think he trusts her.
Even though he doesn't like women, even though he doesn't like women on the bridge.
He did say that.
He did.
Well, he's gonna have a hard time
because there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot on this
problem. He's gonna have a problem.
I want there to be a decent explanation for that. Like he was hypnotized by some misogynist alien race or something.
Roy.
So I just watched The Cage, which was the original pilot, about a few days ago, and they did make a comment on that show that was recorded in 1965, actually, before it aired in 66, that he had a problem with women on the bridge.
Right.
That Christopher Pike said something about that on The Cage. So I think they were just tying it together to kind of bring us back around to that same sentiment. And it was basically his own feelings, not obviously shared by other people in that century.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing of the time.
Maybe he just thought about it. Maybe it was just chivalrous.
Like Nurse Chapel now doesn't have to have like Vaseline on the lens when they show her,
I can tell you Nurse Chapel is going to be everyone's personal favorite. I can tell you that right now.
I think she's pretty cool. I like everybody so far. Who I don't like is actually Spock. I don't like Ethan Peck as Spock.
You know what? I got different reasons. So what are your reasons for disliking? Shut up, Jermaine. Like,
there's only a few Vulcans that I actually like, and that's Spock, and that's T'Pol, and that's oh my god, from Voyager. Most
Black dude.
Vulcans don't get good.
Tim Russ. There we go.
Tuvok. Most Vulcans do a
Tuvok.
horrible job at being Vulcan. Like most of them mostly act like Romulans. They're just arrogant assholes most of the time in most shows. There's too many smirks by Ethan Peck, and there's too much when he's trying to be firm. He's actually yelling, and he's very strong. Like Spock was never that strong speaking, although he got his point across. But Ethan Peck almost yelling all the time.
I think we're gonna see an evolution in all of these characters. And I think that's what they're doing right now. We're gonna see a slow evolution in these characters.
I don't know. Even JJ Spock is
Oh,
too
you
emotional.
straight people.
Too emotional.
But no, I just heard it.
But most of the characters I do like. But what else do we? Oh, I have some the intro music to me. The intro music to me reminds me of Superman when it starts, when it comes on. It's like watch the intro to the music. You're not gonna get Superman out your head.
Yeah, you're right. So I think they will tone down Spock's emotions as the course of the season or as the episodes, play out, because he did smile in the cage, which seemed a little off color.
The
so
cage
we're kind
is
of
not
swinging
right.
but we're swinging around. Well, we're swinging around back to that. They have to kind of have something that connects this to that, and I think that having his emotions, out of control a little bit is that portrayal.
Well,
my opinion.
The cage that wasn't picked up. That's why there were several things about it that did not work.
I mean, be that as it may, it was incorporated later on. So we know that it was the cage, then the discovery effect. Let's call it the discovery effect. Then Strange New Worlds. Jermaine, what is it? What is it?
I'm laughing because that's your polite way of going in tepidly, but not all the way.
I know you are not reading me right now.
I'm not reading you. It's funny to watch.
I'm just saying, like I'm trying. Okay, I know what I want to say about Spock, but I'm trying to keep this relevant to the conversation at hand.
I got you.
Why you have to echo that?
I know. I know that too.
I'm just saying it was a couple of the scenes that were so powerful about Spock was when you did see him smile and laugh when he thought he killed Captain Kirk, and then he like smiled with glee to see him. That was a huge moment because they hardcore put his non-emotions in every single episode, and it was great. So Ethan Peck smiles, small smirks is just too much. No smirks at all.
So look,
I've always wanted to
I don't
see
want
a
us to
Vulcan make
forget.
love.
I don't want us to forget what Jason is saying, but I do want us to talk about what Michael said. He said Pike expresses he might never get used to women on the bridge. I think the inference is that he has a difficult time around women in power for some reason. This is a fascinating flaw I hope we explore. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think that's what he meant? The original Pike.
I don't think so because he's the captain of the bridge. None of those women are in power. That's when it's your ship. None of those women are in power on the bridge at all.
Oh, you're on mute, William.
Oh man, we could have had him the whole hour on mute.
I know.
We could have just been like,
yeah.
Who's got the power now? Who's got the power now?
all right.
Man, first of all, here's what we're not gonna do. You ain't gonna put this motherfucker.
Hold your emotions.
Okay, you better hold your emotions better than Spock did that night. Now,
Well, we know that Vulcans are females are supposed to pop the question first.
Clearly, I saw that.
okay.
Yeah.
So all right. Here's what I was gonna say. Kind of like how Picard on Lessons didn't. Of course, we found out his whole love and detachment issues and his childhood and all that. But we found out all that. But remember that scientist that he was in love with?
Yeah.
And, okay. Well, he in a weird way assumed like a very possessive authority over her, over what she does, over when she comes, and despite the favoritism she was already getting. What if it's kind of like that and Pike and Una had a thing?
I don't know. I don't feel that way with Picard. I think he was the way with her what he should have been as her captain. And I would have, first of all, I would have loved to see her for at least the whole series on the show.
She was
Right.
a fascinating character.
Rick Berman is just scared to do everything.
I was kind of hoping we would bring her or Vash or someone back. Like I love Laris, I do, but come on now. Or
Q
maybe
should have left with what's the girl you just named? Vash. Q should have left with Vash at the end.
No, Vash opened him up. Vash opened him up real good.
Yeah.
Brother would not stop smiling. Shut up, Jermaine.
Look, so Michael had another comment. So he said, it might have something to do with his faith. He expressed he's a man of faith and discovery, whatever that means.
Right. We don't know what that faith is. Don't know.
Thoughts?
Might have something to do with his faith or express he's a man of faith and discovery, whatever that means. Look,
All right.
I just have faith of the heart when he's in that bedroom. That's all I gotta say. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Well, they was about to do Ponfar or whatever they do, and Pike call ruin that whole thing. But I guess it's supposed to be every 7 years. So
I had to take care of him. Welcome to the meeting.
Look, I was ready for the Ponfar. I was ready for whatever action they were about to give us, but we didn't see it.
They never did it. Maybe this is just their version of a. I don't know. Well, I guess if you think of no,
So
because even when they're married, they still do it.
So look, so this is one thing. So I'm sorry, Jason. I'm sorry for interrupting you. But what we know from TOS is that at some point, what was that? Season 1, maybe season 2 or whatever. He had to go back to Vulcan, right? So
Yeah.
sometime during Strange New Worlds, we're going to see that, right? It's gonna happen.
The marriage.
Maybe
Because
that's 30 years
because
later.
we know it's 10 years.
later.
We know it's 10 years
No.
from the date that he dies, right?
No. So here's the thing. Nope, because can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So according to the timeline here, when T'Pring pops the question, it's the year 2237. We see Amok Time took place in 2267. That's a 30-year difference. See,
All
so
I'm
they had
saying-
been married
All I'm saying
30 years.
is that on Strange New Worlds, we're going to see that happen.
Oh, there's going to be
don't-
another Ponfar. I see what you're saying.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's going to experience.
So what you're saying is we're going to get 10 years in Strange New Worlds and 20 years in the original series.
I don't know.
Because that's what it seems like, since technically it's supposed to take place 10 years before Kirk.
Right.
Too much thinking ahead. This is the whole point of the show.
We literally had a
Don't think
time
too much
travel.
ahead.
We literally
Don't
had
think
a
too much
time
ahead.
travel and Chief
It's
O'Brien
not
debate
gonna
last
stop.
night.
It's not going to stop people from thinking ahead because if you think about it, when we were watching TNG, we were thinking ahead. Like we were putting a whole lot of things together, like way back then.
When you were watching TNG, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
I
but you have
wasn't
to
born
understand
yet.
this is
You're
all
not the
new.
same age. You're not.
This
the
is
same-
all new story though. This is new story stuff. But here's a question.
Doesn't change.
They Ponfar every 7 years.
Right.
Does only the man Ponfar? I mean, do they have to do it? Does they have
No.
agree at the same time, or
T'Pol
To
had
each other.
Ponfar too.
oh yeah, she
Yeah,
did.
but
So
only
that-
but only with their mate.
Right, but do they Ponfar at the
Right.
same time?
Probably not. Probably not.
That's my thing.
And if it does,
Maybe-
it's probably and
maybe-
if it does, it's probably the equivalent of angry sex.
I mean, right? Because if she came and said, "I'm on Ponfar, baby. I had my Ponfar last year. You just gonna have to wait." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, they have it at the same time.
No,
is it
because it
biological?
never happened. They would have to be born at the same time.
is it biologically safe?
No. Once they're mated, then it's kind of like a woman's like
Oh,
it's going at the same time.
so they do it,
Okay,
and then it syncs up a Ponfar cycle.
Exactly.
okay, but that doesn't that may explain it after they get married, but before they get married, that doesn't really line up. Though.
So this
He's
is my
saying they gotta
question.
do it to sync it up.
This is my question. When she gave him, I don't know, that necklace or whatever, did that symbolize their marriage? This is a question. I don't know.
It's got to be a ring.
It symbolizes engagement, I believe.
Okay, so them having sex. Well, this is Michael. What is Michael saying?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's not about what this is about.
Well, we'll get that in a second, Michael. We're discussing Vulcan sex right now. Okay.
I want to know where Robert April gets his beard cut because that shit.
I want to know. I want to know when in the hell did he become black?
I guess he did just now.
Well, you know what? Lieutenant Kyle became Asian. Do y'all remember Lieutenant Kyle?
Yeah, he was on the original show.
Like
he was in a movie.
Oh, was he?
Which movie?
The character was actually in the J.J. Abrams film, but a different actor, and the same actor was in.
Wait a minute, y'all. Did y'all read Roy's comment?
What did Roy say? I can't do two chats at once.
Not you too, Roy. Not you too.
Okay, sync. That's a Cardi B. That's a Cardi B song. Fucking sync.
Follow me, swallow me.
How they get in sync, okay? And then they're in the same 7-year cycle.
All right.
This show has become highly inappropriate, and I am going to take it up with HR. Where's Marie at?
Oh, Marie ain't gonna save you.
Oh my God! Look at this.
Oh,
Got sidetracked
All right.
on this.
Do we have time? Does anybody want to talk about the significance of La'an Noonien Singh and that name?
What's up with that? What is up with that? It's obvious something's gonna have to go on with that.
She's a descendant. Like she's not an experiment. She's a hothead. And if she don't get her temper and check, that red shirt is gonna kick her ass. That's all I gotta say. Because
it reminds me of that girl from Orville.
Yeah, the strong one.
The security guard, the security chief.
Yeah, basically the Klingon ripoff. So I am curious, like, are they gonna apply the red shirt effect in this show?
Probably not.
I hope so.
Why?
Why not? I mean, they don't have to die. Just get your ass handed to a couple of times.
Just get stunned.
I mean, the only reason I ask why is it's kind of at this point, like maybe when we were watching TOS, it might not have been a thing that people like thought about, but all these years later, we're paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? And so it would become kind of like, oh, one of them is gonna die.
It's a retcon. There. I don't know what that means.
At the end of the show, very end, we see an Andorian beam aboard. We don't know name, rank, or specialty.
Yeah.
I always wonder why there weren't more Andorians around anyway, since they are one of the founding members of the
It was the
Federation.
special effects. They couldn't do it back then. That was the only reason.
Was it? Because they had them on. They had them on the show as enemies.
Yeah, but if you didn't see them all the time, they weren't. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't a main.
Maybe he's like
No.
maybe this particular
they
Andorian is like Worf.
I'm sorry. What?
I said maybe this particular Andorian is like Worf.
Well, he's a
Roy,
white
Roy,
Andorian.
I can't hear you.
I said Andorians were enemies of the Tellarites, I think.
Oh yeah, they
Right.
hate each other.
They were enemies of the
Have to watch
Tellarites.
Journey.
But they
But
hated
they-
Vulcans more.
They banded together when they formed the Federation.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
That's
They're
later.
enemies of the Tellarites and the Vulcans.
Okay, so
No,
which
no.
part of the story are we in right
The
now?
Federation's already made at this time.
I mean, we were talking about sex. We were
What?
talking about. I mean, it was a number of different
Talking
things.
about Andorians.
This is what happens when you get 4 men on Trekker's Delight.
How did you like Dr. Mbenga from Kenya?
I wasn't impressed.
I love his accent.
I wasn't
like
impressed.
him.
So
I don't like him or dislike him. We don't have enough of him yet. I don't like
So
him or
he
dislike
appeared
him.
in the original series episode called Private Little War.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did.
in the year 22. Yeah, it was the second season, I think. Number 16, second season.
So
So I had a theory about why Leanne Noonien Singh didn't want sedative before her genetic alteration
Do tell.
thing. Maybe it's because she's been genetically modified herself, because she may be related to Khan or through the Eugenics War or something. I mean, just because of the fact that she has the same name as Khan.
So I remember reading something, and they specifically said that she would not possess his mental abilities. That's just what I read, and you know, sometimes those things aren't true.
She definitely has his temper.
Mm-hmm.
She got something going on. We don't know yet.
So
She's smart. I'll give it that.
I'm trying to figure out, like, because I don't know if they're trying to make another Tasha Yar character, because that's what it seems like. Tasha, along with her sister, grew up on a hellhole of a planet, you know?
Right.
And I'm starting to get this vibe from her, like, you don't know what they did to us, where they had to open up our bodies and use us as breeding sex. Okay, that does sound horrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
damn Gorn.
Right. So I'm curious, is the subplot, because every show has a subplot in a season. Is the subplot gonna be Gorn?
Yeah.
Is the subplot gonna be what?
The Gorn.
The Gorn.
You never know. I mean, at
maybe
this point,
for a show it might be.
at this point, we can assume that a lot of the characters that we saw in Enterprise, we're gonna see again. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, who would live long enough from Enterprise?
No, not the specific characters. I'm talking about species. The species.
Oh, you mean like Suliban?
Correct.
I mean, I would love to know what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or a lot of things, really. Like, do we get any resolutions that Discovery clearly could not do that we can do in Strange New Worlds?
From Discovery? Like what resolutions?
Like resolutions that were left open from the Enterprise series.
Oh, from the Enterprise.
Even though it's been 100 years.
Perhaps. You think we'll get a mirror series? A mirror episode?
I mean, I kind of want to see, because here's the thing. I know that Discovery pretty much blew up the headquarters or the big shuttle of the mirror universe that had a star at the center of it.
The palace.
Blew it all to hell. But Kirk, about 20 years later, still went over there, and they were still a Terran Empire, which means they were covered.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, because it looked like that star just took up everything that it needed to take up, everything in that sector. But clearly they were covered. They got a new emperor. They got all that other stuff. Like, I want to know.
Just because you blow up that one palace doesn't mean there's other. There are probably a ton of factions out there, like Kazons, that were rushing for power at that point.
I mean, were they insects, or I thought they were like a monarchy or something.
There would always be somebody there that's looking for power. And if you blow up the main palace and the main source of power, there's going to be all sorts of different factions that open up and try to take that, fill that void.
I feel like Roy has something to say right now, because he has his pad out.
Right. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Since when they shut up,
he's got his notes ready.
Well, I gotta tell you, I watched Picard today as well as Strange New Worlds, like back to back. So if I don't have notes, I'm going to get the two shows confused. But I saw on one of the shows there was something about Khan. I can't remember if it was
that was Picard.
That was Picard.
That was Picard.
Okay.
At the end.
All right, then never mind. You guys probably talked about it yesterday then.
So what we learned was that, I don't know if it was a change in the timeline, but what we learned is World War III is also, the Eugenics Wars is also the second Civil War.
I told y'all, and y'all were like, no.
Anyway, what I was saying was,
no. It's like an ongoing thing. Like constantly, like I'm saying, no, is this, and like everybody's like, no, it's not this. This is not.
No, because in the memory alpha, the Eugenics Wars did take place in the 1990s, but they made one modification. Okay, so the Eugenics Wars is technically from. Okay. So what happened in the 90s was actually a series of battles. It wasn't an actual war quite yet. Okay, it was just a bunch of hotheads that had lost their temper, lost control, and then boom. Now he's going to bring Khan out, which apparently is going to be the trigger for World War III.
Well, the problem with writing about the future is that sooner or later you catch up with it. So it's always gonna, you're always gonna have that problem. Hopefully
Because we didn't get hoverboard.
What did he say?
Right. I said because we didn't get hoverboards in the year 2015, like they said in Back to the Future, we were going to get.
I sure was watching
flying
Back
cars
to the other day. I really was watching Back to the Future the other day. I'm going like, y'all late as
Great.
hell.
It's a great movie.
Y'all late as hell. Like, we're supposed to be using our trash as fuel. Like, we're supposed to be doing a bunch of stuff, but now we got to rely on some alien bacteria to clean our oceans and clear our skies. Like, so get ready for 2024, y'all.
Hey, we were talking about the mirror universe. What I wanted
We're in the mirror universe. We
What I
are the
noticed
mirror
on
universe.
the on DS9, how they had the Klingons on DS9 in the mirror universe. I thought it would have been great to have the Klingons act more like Ferengi and have them be these cowering people, and then have the Ferengi
What Klingons are these?
like more of these warriors. Huh?
What Klingons are these?
I'm saying it would have been cooler if they did that.
Oh.
If they totally, because the
Kinda change
Klingons
it
were
up.
exactly this. They were exactly the same. They were just
You know
like
what?
more like.
I am kind of curious where the Klingon queen is at right now.
What queen? Oh,
The mother.
they're gonna have to
we
bring the
might see it.
Klingons into it. We're gonna see the Klingons. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Klingons.
What's your reservation?
I mean, like, there so far the start of this new episode is fresh. I gave it an 8 to 9 out of 10. It was a fresh new start, and I like fresh.
Maybe even a 10. It was pretty good.
It was. I mean, yeah, it was 10. It was 10 out of 10. Like, I didn't have any complaints about it at all. But what I'm fearful of is that they bring in the trash from the first season of Discovery over into Strange New Worlds.
I love the first season of Discovery. I don't have no complaints about that at all.
Out of hell.
I have no complaints about the Klingons. I don't have no
give a
complaints
damn.
about
The hell. No.
the Klingons are perfect.
I'm trying to hit the button for red alert.
That's all he had to say. He said the Klingons are perfect.
Klingons are perfect.
No, they are not perfect. Okay, they sounded like distorted Darth Vaders. No, okay,
So they had
absolutely
all
not.
Stuff on. It gave them the opportunity to give them some diversity. One of the problems that they had in Star Trek that was about diversity is that nothing had diversity ever. The Klingons were all the
If you
same.
want diversity,
Romulans
go
were
to the
all the
future with
same.
Michael Burnham.
You know, it gave them diversity. I like the clothes.
No.
like that.
No,
Look,
they looked like
so-
giant Gorn lizards. That's what
so,
they look like. They look like Gorn.
Let me say this. So in the original, like, for the most part, the Klingons look like humans with
And there was a
mustaches.
reason for that, and they butchered it.
Yeah. But that reason was explained to us like years later in Enterprise, right? It
No,
wasn't
the
even
reason
covered.
was cosmetics and money. That's the reason. Like,
That's
Yes,
a damn-
yes.
right.
And
right.
all I'm saying, what my point, the point that I was trying to get to was things change, and sometimes we just need to adapt. And what they were trying to do was they were trying to change things up, but we didn't want to adapt. And it's okay.
They didn't, so they sent Discovery to the future. Boom, end of story.
And it's okay. It's okay, but we just need to realize that we were just being stuck in our ways. In my
yeah, I think you just being.
Stuck in our ways.
If
Look,
you can accept the TNG Klingons as being Klingons, and they're not,
they
TOS Klingons.
they made an explanation. I
What's
love
the
it when you
what's the
take.
explanation?
I got you. Okay.
Oh, wait, is it in-story explanation?
Yes.
That's not an explanation. The explanation is about art and money. That's the real explanation. You can write about it.
Okay,
if you
Roy.
want.
Like, I'm
Roy is
done.
just like, I'm dead.
You can write anything you want into the story.
I'm not gonna have this argument.
I think the best explanation was Worf saying, "We don't talk about it with outsiders." That was the best explanation.
In
Don't talk about it.
Listen to me. In the Augments episode in Enterprise, they properly explained what was happening to the Klingons, and they wouldn't have their features back until literally almost 200 years later, which lines up perfectly with the motion picture.
Yeah, but they just
it's canon, it's written, and it's showed. Y'all may disregard Enterprise all you want, but I'm the only advocate on this show that loves Enterprise and will stand by it while y'all disregard it.
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry.
not true because Jason loves it. Jason.
Then
Jason
how come he won't acknowledge it?
He did not acknowledge it. It's just,
wait. I didn't acknowledge.
He did acknowledge.
I didn't acknowledge that I love what
Enterprise.
Oh, I love Enterprise.
Then acknowledge the fact that they have augment episodes that properly explain what happens to the Klingons and why they
know
look
the
human.
story. I know that. What I'm saying is, you're talking about what people wrote. What I'm talking about is what it really comes down to is
Go ahead. Take your time.
An art choice. It's an art choice.
An
At
art
the end
choice.
of the day, that's it.
At the end of the day.
Write this.
Yeah, absolutely. The doors to the church are open. Okay.
Red alert!
Why do we have beam up? Why do we have beam up technology in Star Trek? Why do we have beam up technology in Star Trek?
We've had that since
Save money. To save money.
It was to save
That
money.
was to save money.
Because they couldn't have started.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But we were just saying earlier how we let a lot of things slide in TOS. Now we're in an era where everything is happening in real time. So they don't get those excuses that they had in TOS anymore.
All I'm saying, you still get excuses.
Yeah, but we're stuck.
What excuses do you get?
There's always limitations, man.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's what we're not gonna do.
Yeah.
No, Jermaine.
But they are.
Well, also
Why?
the fact that they have their tricorders still look like McCoy's tricorders. It bothers me a little bit, but I know they have to do that.
20 years from now, there's going to be some advancement in technology, and we're going to be like, oh, this could have existed in Star Trek. And guess what? Some new show is going to add it. That's
like saying the consoles don't look like the same consoles in TOS.
Okay.
Didn't have any computer screens whatsoever anywhere.
That is an illogical fallacy. That is a complete illogical fallacy. Like, if they have a scientific genetic reason why the Klingons look human, then they need to leave them human. I could give two shits in a rat's ass about technology.
What I'm saying is their consoles had no computer screens at all.
TOS.
We hardly ever had cameras pointed at the consoles on TOS, so it's okay.
There was like paper dials and shit, buttons.
You're not wrong about any of that. You're not wrong about I'll give it to you about the technology, okay?
But
what I will not go for is Klingon evolution. That's what I will not do. There's no.
And Enterprise did a great job between marrying the current technology and splitting the technology between TOS.
And that's why I had no problem with Enterprise, because they made their technology look primitive compared to the TOS. And that is how you make it. That's how you do it. You can still have a good story as long as you respect the original. That's me. Now, I wasn't here, obviously, when that happened. Y'all were. But I'm just saying.
All right. Well, what else about Strange New Worlds? Did anybody not like it? Anybody not like it?
It wasn't. I mean,
I gave it 10 out of 10.
After my second time watching it, I liked it much better. But the first time it was just like I could have I felt like I was wasting my time.
I feel like I'm excited about. I really like First Contact episodes. But I would like to have. Sometimes I feel like we don't get enough of it. Like, I would like to have a 3, 4, 5 episode about a first contact, because I was like, they go in and then they get out.
So, Michael, just to answer your question, I wondered that too. The only thing that I can assume is that they basically just did scans, which is not going to be very conclusive. I'm certain that that's not really answering your questions in order to get like a genetic code and everything, unless what's the name? Unless the Archer, they went down and their scans were synced with the ship or something. Other than that, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they had already.
It's in the script.
I'm pretty sure they
Did
already
they
knew
share
about
that part with us?
They already knew about their race. They'd already looked at them before. I'm pretty sure they were already observing those people. They probably already had contact with them.
No, they didn't have contact with them. You mean like observing them? Like
I'm sure they observed them. I'm sure they've been down there before. They already had a name for the planet. You know, Kylie 279.
Yep.
But they don't address that question of how she knew how to genetically alter them. They don't.
Yeah.
I'm calm. I'm calm.
But you see, like the simple fact that like we can't think of anything. We can't think of anything.
I can think of a lot.
Well, come forward.
Okay.
It's
okay.
in the
How
script.
do you? Okay. Yes. Okay. It's in the script. It's in the script. That's at the end of the day. It's in the script. Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you this. No matter what argument we have to agree that the universe is balanced on the back of a giant koala. Okay.
It's a turtle.
Koala.
It's a turtle. The turtle moves.
This is not Sonic the Hedgehog or Dragon Ball Z. We don't do turtles here in this universe. Okay. Then we have koalas. Okay?
Roy, is it a turtle, Roy?
No, it's a dandelion. It's a little dandelion, like in Horton Hears a Who. Right? Remember Horton Hears a Who? Little dandelion?
Yep.
No. Oh my God.
Well, y'all don't read.
Michael, I love you.
Oh shit.
Y'all don't read.
What did you say?
Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, Michael. Someone. They talked about it earlier, Michael. Michael Greer. I mean,
What was the tie?
Only.
First of all, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You go. You go.
No. I was going to talk to Michael, the other Michael, but yeah, you go ahead, Jermaine. I got words for him. You go ahead.
Only that. So Roy mentioned the fact that in Picard, they specifically talked about Khan, and I guess we didn't go in depth with it, but just the fact that we were talking about Khan, and also we have, I guess, one of his descendants on this particular show. Yeah,
La'ana. That's the only tie. Yeah, maybe.
So what did everyone think about I won't say the creation, but the solidification of what we now know as the Prime Directive?
I think that's good. I think that's cool. I mean, we knew it was going to evolve at some point. Like,
right. They didn't have a name for it yet, but now because of Pike's situation, affected from Discovery, it gave birth to the name the Prime Directive.
Right. Which
Yeah, it was the General Order 1. It was called General Order 1.
Okay.
It was called that in TOS 2 at the beginning, I believe, and then they changed it.
So yeah, because they're still transitioning. It probably will take a decade or two.
That's why I said that'll never stick. That was like a
right
thing. It will stick, but it might take a while, sort of deal.
Right, and it didn't really become a thing up until TNG. So
correct.
Okay, see, that works.
You think your people are going to start using warp bombs?
Honestly, I'm trying to think of how a warp bomb would work. Is it like an antimatter bomb, or is it like a bomb that goes at warp and then hits you like a shooting star?
It warps space. It just warps space. Like, you know, when you blow up, you ever see something explode underwater, and it's just like a big bubble.
Yeah.
I
guess I never really thought
like that.
I guess I never really conceived it, other than the thought crossed my mind when I looked at First Contact and I looked at Cochrane's ship, the Phoenix, and it pretty much looked like a giant missile, in which it was a giant missile turned with nacelles on it. And then I thought for a second that would be a cool bomb if that was a bomb that just went to warp and hit the planet. That would put the Death Star to shame.
So Roy, this is a question for you. It was question: will they also call Red Alert by its original name as well, which was to sound General Quarters?
I thought it was Read Alert.
Read Alert?
Oh well,
from Enterprise. That's how it started. It started out as Read Alert.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that was the first Red Alert when Uhura hit the button. See, I got the button right here. Red Alert, Red Alert.
I would have been so freaked out if you actually touched something behind you. I've been like, bro. Question.
What do they say on ships now? They say red alert. What do they say? Anybody
Red
say
alert,
on
shields
ship?
up.
Battle stations.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now that it's hard. I like where Jason went with his point, like, because this is an episodic series, we don't really know where this is going to go. The major subplot is Captain Pike coming to terms with his fate, which I'm not going to lie to you, the way he processed it gave me a lot of Emissary of Cisco Deep Space Nine vibes, like willing to leave Starfleet, willing to drop it all of that. Like, but choosing to stay.
So if you know that, so he knows that, right?
He knows it.
Would that cause you to be more reckless if you know that you're going to be around for this terrible thing to happen to you later? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm not necessarily advocating for him to drop out of Starfleet, because it's like either way, your fate is going to be your fate no matter what. I still go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No. The last thing I was going to say was my vote is still we're going to get an ending that no one has figured out yet.
And that kind of goes along with what I was thinking. What I was thinking was he's still thinking that he's going to change his future.
And
if
maybe
he knows
will.
his future,
I don't think
he can change it.
I don't think he is. I think the whole point of the show is that he knows he can't, and how to go on with knowing that he can't. It's not like a doctor saying, "Oh, you're gonna die."
I've been saying this. I've been saying this for the last year, but since the start of this show, I've been saying it. Yeah, he's gonna die. His face is his handsome. His face is gonna melt and all that. But I think we're not gonna get. I think there's gonna be more to that story. I think there's gonna be more to that story than his face melting off. That's what
I hope his chair does more than just blink once or twice. Like, good Lord, Stephen Hawking had way better than that. Like, come on, man, really? Click yes. So he's like dude from Breaking Bad.
Hey,
ding,
in the
ding,
60s, that was considered
ding,
advanced. You know what I'm saying? In the 60s, that was considered advanced.
They could have at least gave him Morse code. Like they had that in the 60s.
Morse code.
At the very least, he could have been blinking Morse.
Data is not on that bridge. Don't nobody understand Morse code.
Hey, well, you better learn. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. That's what you used to say back in my day.
Maybe Uhura knows it. Boom. Okay.
I'm certain she does. So look, before we go, because we're at the 57-minute mark, before we go, can someone sum up for us what it is that we've learned?
I've learned that we need Marie to keep us in check.
Oh, really?
Because this is what happens when we start off the conversation with saying that men deserve to be sex icons, which is my fault.
I mean, anybody can be a sex icon,
No.
men or women. Women just do it better.
I mean, like I said, I wasn't mad at Spock for him doing his thing. I was just mad he didn't finish his job.
I always look at Jason and Roy. I want to see their reactions. They always just play it off.
I mean, brother could say whatever brother want to say. What I'm gonna tell him. He like what he likes.
Okay. On that note, let's. Gene Roddenberry said that.
I'm sorry. I gotta take this off. I'm
we got
sorry.
two more
I
minutes.
gotta take this off.
What is on the inside of that? Is that like
It's velvet.
See?
you made that from cereal boxes? Oh, it's a Star Trek.
It's an inside out shirt.
Okay.
See?
Yo.
I made it in
Yo.
college. I made it.
Yo.
We learned
This
that
has been irreverent.
there's a lot we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, and we're going to be exploring strange new worlds. This is not NBC, man. Take that out of here.
Yo, thank y'all for watching. This has been a different kind of show. Have a good evening.
Now, again, I'm going to say this again because we're near the end of our show. If you are our allies, we are not talking to you. We are not talking to you. This does not... we're not talking to you. Stop trying to take our and make it your goddamn business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
Our experience of grief independently.
Bruh.
Yes.
I love that they're in the comments.
So much is like I'm just reading the comments.
Yeah. They should brought their child out. That's such a good point, Will. God, that's such a good point. And he's really thought about it too. You should be here. William, get over here.
I thought he had a girlfriend on Insta. It's been ages since I've mucked about, but
Okay, moving on. Let's move on.
yeah, we gotta move on.